I don't know exactly what I will call it, defunding or setting back in any way, shape, or form our Community Action Committee. That committee has, since the adoption of the plan, filled in the blanks, to say the least. Its success in its emergency response and connectivity areas. The Pahoa Regional Town Center Plan has moved forward, as you all know. We've been here several times on that topic. This is not the time to let up on it. The idea that the planning department cannot walk and chew gum, keep the community development plans moving. I don't know how the other ones are going, but I can sure tell you how ours is going, and it's going very well, and I want to see it keep going that way. It is absurd to think that you are going to do a general plan without concurrency of the community plans and the action committees. They have to go lockstep. Otherwise, there will be holes created, and then what are we going to do? We're going to run back and patch them, and that's maybe going to save us $1 somewhere? Dream on. This is a coordinated process, and it has to move forward in a coordinated way, or we're all going to lose ground, and it's going to cost us more to fix it in the end. Thank you.
And I was really disheartened at the new Action Committee meeting schedule. It is a troubling move. It will further disconnect the people of Hawaii from their county government and their county departments. The action committees are responsible for the implementation of all of the CDPs of all of their districts. And this work is left solely to the action committees. There is no other body responsible for implementing these plans. The action committees are required to be compliant with the sunshine laws, with which I'm sure you're all very familiar. And these requirements of notifications and scheduling and public access make it already a little bit cumbersome to meet the needs of a board that meets only once a month. If we break this down to once every other month, it will be cumbersome beyond what can be expected to be reasonable. One could expect, in some extreme cases, lags of 4 months in order to write a letter. I'm deeply committed to the work of the Action Committee, and I know that other Action Committee people feel the same way. And I will, no matter what happens, continue to work with great dedication to make sure that our plans are implemented. I understand that the planning department is stretched thin with the general plan update. That's a lot of work. But one thing, in the last 2 years, they have lost 2 full-time professional planning staff, and there has been no replacement of any of those people. We feel it with the Action Committee work of the PCDP, as our project manager is struggling with both downtown Hilo and the Puna CDP and the general plan and whatever else he had on his desk. So we ask, there have been applications taken in, but no movement so far to hire any of these planning people that would be, one would think if you were updating the general plan that you would want to be fully staffed to do that. So I hope sincerely that our meeting schedule can be restored. I find this is a very disheartening disengagement with the people of this county, and I hope we can fix it. Thank you.
Okay, let me first say that Director Kanuha advised that he would not be able to be present today, and we had actually asked for this to be postponed to the next meeting, but there was a mix-up in council services, so it's here. So I just want to say I appreciate the two of you coming in and testifying. I know I was on the steering committee for the South Kohala CDP, and at that time, Puna CDP was ahead of us along with North Kohala, so I kept keeping track of what you all were doing and see what we could add in. And, you know, like I said, when with regard to the nomination, is we really, you know, in most states and places, you've got villages and towns where you have local government. We don't. Our first layer of government is the county. You know, we don't have that where people come and gather. So for this reason, I've always stressed how important this is, really a place bringing the community together and that can then interface as a unit with the county. What really, two things really provoked my putting this on. One is just the difficulty it's been getting vacancies filled, such as, I mean, in North Kohala, there have been numerous applicants for, I would like to say, years, for a long time, and we've been functioning and not having quorum and having difficulties. We're finally now getting those filled. So that's been going on. Then there was, immediately was the notice came out, and no one certainly let me know, and I mean, finally it was one of the CDP Action Committee chairs, that every other meeting was going to be canceled because there wasn't anybody available at planning to attend. Well, as far as I'm concerned, these meetings are set up for the community. I mean, if there's no one available from planning, then they just say, I can't be there. I mean, it's not like there isn't a chair and a committee and members to be discussing. I mean, originally, when we were working on this, and I helped work on the legislation with then Council Member Hoffman and Palago on the Action Committee, it was originally going to be initially under Research and Development, and the Planning Department opposed the legislation, and then when it looked like it was going to pass, the Planning Department said, well, we'll take it in under our wing and we'll adjust it and make these things. So Planning Department came in. But it's not like it's like a part of the Planning Department where you just say, oh, well, this isn't our priority today. We just gave them a 4-year extension on the general plan. I think it was 4, it might be 3. So I really find this a slap in the face and disrespectful to the community. I mean, I think there are other issues going on. I think with, like, even in terms of the Sunshine Law, you're trying to get people in. You're trying to get people, like in North Kohala, where there are divisions between, the old timers and the new timers, and it's really important for it to be meeting on a frequent basis. I think that they're really, I know the neighboring boards on Oahu, there's been amendments on the Information Act to allow them to have less stringent requirements. And I think, we should really have been in there. I would have loved to have known that legislation was going on. I would have made it clear that it doesn't just apply to neighboring boards. But the key things is that this is an important institution. I'm actually thinking of doing a charter amendment to get something in the charter to make it clear these things are not there to just kick around.